I'm Chris Berman. Got a lot of games to cover. Let's get at it. In our first game this week, we had the Cowboys edge their way to a narrow 3-point win. The Buccaneers won this contest, but will stay at the 4th place in the NFC South. In a long-standing AFC rivalry, we had the Bengals win their 9th game of the year. We had an interesting free agency pickup of note here. Trey's got the lowdown for us. Trey?
All right, Chris. Let's switch gears and talk about players that'll have new homes in the National Football League, as free agency continues to play such a huge role in determining a team's makeup. John Kitna is on the move as he gets a contract for what can only be referred to as crazy money. 3 years, $2.6 million. This guy is on the move, as you see, as he accepts a pretty good offer to leave his current club. 6 years, $5.1 million. Nick Ferguson got snatched up as well, and he signs a 2-year contract with the Saints.
D'Angelo Hall stepped it up this week and gave his team some added firepower for the win. Chris Chambers had over 50 yards receiving and helped his Dolphins beat the Panthers. Bears, Raiders. Rob Conrad is inside the 10-yard line. Look at the moves for him. First man out of the backfield, touchdown, 8 yards. The Raiders go on to win this by the final score of 14-6. Up in the Pacific Northwest in Seattle, the city by the Sound, we had the Seahawks get nipped by 3 points. Up at Lambeau Field, we had the Packers squeak to a 1-point victory. The Eagles erupted for 400-plus offensive yards in their victory at Lincoln Financial Field. The Browns won on the road and will have to travel again next week when they meet the Jets. The Titans won this contest, but will stay at the 1st place in the AFC South. Broncos, Chiefs. Julian Battle is almost like a center fielder back there. Picks it off at his own 30-yard line. Look at the wheels in the midfield stripe. He's thinking more than just a pick. He's thinking touchdown. What a turnaround, 70 yards. The Chiefs win this one by the final score of 38-10. We had a big injury in this one, and Trey has the lowdown for us. Trey?
All right, Boomer, thanks. Luckily, we had a relatively injury-free week, which makes my job just that much easier. Ashley Lally is arguably the biggest name on this list. The team's injury report listed a broken wrist and that he's out for the rest of the regular season. There's a chance, however, they'll get him back for the playoffs. So that'll do it for now. Chris, let's send it back to you.
Charles Rogers stepped it up this week and gave his team some added firepower for the win. In a long-standing AFC rivalry, we had the Patriots pick up win number 12. Phillip Rivers passed for 150 yards plus and helped his Chargers beat the Jaguars. And in our final game, we had the 49ers come away victorious.
All right, Boomer, thanks. Just 2 weeks to go until the playoffs arrive, and just as we do every year, we're looking at a number of interesting races as teams jockey for position. We'll start it out in the AFC. Meanwhile, let's take a look at how things stand over in the NFC. So there you have it. Still plenty of intrigue left in this NFL season, as the homestretch madness is only just beginning. So that'll do it from here. Boomer, we send it back over to you.
So with just 2 weeks to go now, still plenty to be decided before January rolls around. But first, my primetime players' game balls go out to these men, each helping their team down the stretch. That'll do it, sports fans. I'm Chris Berman, and thanks so much for joining us here in the Bristol studios. We'll see you next week right here on ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports.